Just got this for $0. Watch the video and I'll tell you how. I went to the other side of the world for this bag, and today I want to share with you how I managed to get it for free. More importantly, 5 things for you to consider before you buy your first or your next designer bag if you want to save the most amount of money. I'm Anita, and my biggest financial goal right now is to retire early, which, as you may imagine, takes a lot of my income. But I still like nice things and nice experiences, so I had to get creative with this purchase. But even if you have a comfortable cash flow and a solid financial foundation, you can still save a lot of money on a designer bag. I mean, why would you pay more money or full price when you don't have to? So if buying a designer bag is on your to-do list, you're gonna wanna keep on watching and give this video a thumbs up so more people can learn my secrets as well. So there's 2 major themes to consider here. The first is to get the total cost of the bag down, and the second thing is to use other people's money. So let's talk about getting the total cost of the bag down. I'm gonna give you 3 suggestions, and we'll start from what can save you the most money to what can save you the least money. The first thing that you can do to get the total cost down is to shop secondhand. There's a lot of benefits to shopping secondhand. You know, there's not only environmental benefits to this, but there's also monetary benefits as well worth considering. The first is that you don't have to lose to depreciation. Bags don't really hold their value, kind of like cars. As soon as you drive them off the lot, the value goes down. Same with a lot of bags. There are some exceptions. And the third benefit is that you don't have to pay taxes oftentimes with these third-party sellers. Source worth considering for secondhand online is The RealReal. They have the most rigorous authentication process on the market. They have a variety of bags to choose from, and they get inventory semi-regularly. You can also try high-end boutiques as long as they can show some sort of proof of authentication. There's also other sources online like Poshmark and eBay and things like this where anybody online can sell their product. In this case, you might want to consider getting as many pictures as possible and also doing your own due diligence. What I would do is look up videos on how to authenticate. If you have a bag in mind, then look up how to authenticate that specific bag or things to look out for. I would definitely not just go somewhere without knowing any indicators of how to tell whether it's authentic or not. But if you're like me, you might have trouble finding the model that you're specifically looking for, or you might just rather not gamble on potentially paying hundreds of dollars for a fake bag. Definitely do not want to settle when it comes to buying a designer bag. If this is your only viable option, I would recommend to be patient, continue to check the websites every so often, or you might want to save for a brand new purse instead. So when purchasing new, the best way that you can save the most amount of money is actually purchasing in Europe. So if you are buying a designer bag that is made in Europe, you're automatically going to save 20 to 30% on the retail value because of import fees. And you don't have to pay for VAT taxes, which could save you a couple of $100s. The US dollar is particularly stronger in Europe right now. The euro is close to the dollar. So now is actually a good time to purchase luxury items in Europe for that reason. If you do plan on going this route, you could pick a place that you've never visited in Europe that you want to make a vacation out of. That's what I did. So instead of going to France to buy my Louis Vuitton, that's where the bag is originally made, I actually went to Italy and still saw a huge deduction. If I were to buy this purse in the United States, it would have cost me this amount. So instead, I actually bought it in Italy for this amount. So as you can see, buying something in Europe can save you thousands of dollars depending on the bag that you are purchasing. But if you don't have any plans of traveling to Europe, or it's, you don't have the time for it, the next thing you're going to want to consider is bringing the sales tax down where you live. In the United States, sales tax vary by state. The 3 cheapest states to buy a Louis Vuitton bag are going to be Oregon, Hawaii, and Virginia. While there's other states that have lower taxes and where you might live, they might not have a Louis Vuitton store. So these are the top 3 states that you may want to consider to get the biggest savings. If you don't live in these states or plan on going to these states, you can look up the city tax for different Louis Vuitton stores in your state. So if you're not going to be going to any of those states or going to Europe, or you've already checked some of these boxes, the next theme to consider is using other people's money. And let me tell you what I mean. So the first thing to do is to consider credit cards and cashback apps that actually give you money for using that credit card or shopping on that app. I personally use the Citi Double Cashback, and I also use my Bank of America card to pay rent. I get about $40 every month just for paying rent. And the second thing is the cashback app. So I use Rakuten and Upside. So Rakuten is a shopping cashback app. It's super easy to use. You can do all of your online shopping through there, and you'll get a percentage back. It's particularly rewarding to use this during the holidays, where you can see anywhere from 15 to sometimes even 20% back. And I do have a link. If you use that, you will get $30 when you spend your first $30. The other app that I use regularly is Upside. You'll get cash back at the pump very easily. Usually you either check into the place or you scan a receipt letting it know that you've made a purchase. I really like these 2 apps because they give you access to direct deposits, or they'll send you an actual check or send money to your PayPal. The play here is to take as much cash back as possible from these different sources, credit cards or apps. And then the second step is important because you're going to want to put that sitting cash into an account that actually grows over time. A traditional checking account or a traditional savings account is not where you're going to want to keep your money, just because if you only use this strategy, then it might take you a while, right? It might take you a few years to save enough for a bag, if this is all that you're doing to save money for the bag. Like if you're not saving on taxes, or if you're not saving on import fees by traveling, then you're kind of left with just cash back. So something that I did was I used a HighYield savings account. These will give you anywhere from like 2 to 4% back just for keeping your money in this account. So right now, if you open an account with Webull, you can get up to 5.8% back on up to $10,000. And all new users that use my link, that's in the description, will get an additional percentage back. When you're choosing a HighYield savings account, I wouldn't spend too much time thinking about it. Some really great options are Marcus or Ally. And when choosing a HighYield savings account, you do want to make sure that it's FDIC insured, which is a protection for your deposits in the case that the bank goes under. Now for brokerage accounts like Webull, for example, you won't see an FDIC insurance, you'll see SIPC insurance, which is the equivalent but for brokerages, so you can rest assured that your money is safe. I used all of these options. I first made sure to use all of my cash back earnings to the point where I saved about $3,000 from all of my sources, all my credit cards, all my cash back, into a high yield savings account. When I was ready to make my purchase, I actually decided to take advantage of the euro, low taxes and no import fees by going to Europe. I chose a city that I had never been to so that I can get a vacation out of this experience. I did start to second guess myself a little bit when I was at the Louis Vuitton bag store, but my fiance actually encouraged me to get the bag. It's a bag that I've been wanting since I was in 7th grade, or at least the style was. I did change my mind in the specific bag model, so I am happy that I actually waited about 2 years to buy it. I originally wanted this bag here, but ended up with the Sac Plat PM bag. I really like this bag. So it's quite big. I could fit a laptop, like a smaller 13-inch laptop in there comfortably. It also comes with a handle, so when I don't want to hold it with my hand, I can also just put it on the side like that. I really like tote bags, so to me this was kind of just like a classier, higher end, nice version of a tote bag shape-wise. Hope that you can save as much money as possible with these tips on your next or first designer bag. If you're not already, please consider subscribing. It's absolutely free, and I'll tell you everything I know about saving money, spending money, and investing money.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So the honorable mention that I wanted to say is you can also rent a purse. So I'm not too sure about your tendency, or like how often you change your mind about things, or how long you want the purse for, or if there's a specific outfit that it would look great with. You can also consider renting a high-end purse.